Now we know more because documents have been filed in the Usher genital herpes lawsuit, and the male accuser, although he has not identified himself, has alleged the circumstances surrounding what he says is exposure to genital herpes by Usher. He says it happened at a Koreatown spa in Los Angeles where the two had some kind of sexual contact and exposed him to the disease.
He doesn't have any detail about the actual act or what happened, but just to give the location, and says that Usher is refusing to take a herpes test.
Refusing to take a herpes test, but there is more in this document. Remember, we have a woman, Quantasia, who has come forward at a news conference with Lisa Bloom and talked about this at length, but there were two other people, the male and another female, who have not yet come forward. The male and the female, one of them has genital herpes. It is, now we know, it is the female, the unidentified female, and it got even worse for her, at least if you believe the allegations.
That's exactly right. The Jane Doe has given some details about her sexual contact. She says she had sex with Usher at least twice, and subsequent to having sex with him, she contracted herpes and gave vaginal birth to 2 stillborn twins.
And she's blaming the stillbirths on the herpes.
Well, she says specifically that she even says that there's medical literature that supports her contention that genital herpes causes a higher incidence of stillborns than not. And she's definitely trying to link the two. And, you know, Derek, the way I see this, they are setting this up as a huge damage claim because of the stillborns, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this just got much more interesting because if she had actual real damages from 2 stillborn, you have emotional pain, you have other pain and suffering. This is going to make the damage award go way up. So this could be serious.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room here, and that is that, you know, Usher has not said anything about genital herpes. And obviously, one of the ways of putting a quick end to all of this is saying, look, I don't have it. Now, I'm not saying he has any obligation to do it, but I think that's what people are talking about right now, is that he could have ended it if he wanted to, but he hasn't done that. He hasn't said anything. And then according to this lawsuit, he won't stipulate one way or the other, and he won't take a test. So when you start connecting all these dots, it's feeling like, you know, maybe there's some smoke here. Now, that doesn't mean he had sexual contact with any of them,
right. And also
but it takes it to the...
And also doesn't mean that he's the person who gave it to
Well, remember, two of them say, we didn't get it from him. We don't have it.
I have
Two of them say they don't have it.
All. Right.
I have a question. So if it turns out that he does have it and they didn't get it from him, he's still in trouble for just exposing them to them without telling them, right? Like,
well, if they can't prove it, it's one of those things.
They can't prove that they actually got it.
There's psychic, then there's psychic damage, but good luck without any kind of physical damage of getting anything as a result of that. So, you know, they're going to have to prove some kind of damage.
So what I'm saying is,
the male, I don't know what he's got.
Him disclosing whether or not he has it or not would only, I mean.
I'll give you an example. Then. I covered a story when I was a reporter at CBS in Los Angeles. I covered a story that I found out about where a doctor, a dentist, had AIDS and he was injecting himself, put the needles in a trash can rather than putting them, you know, safely in one of those boxes. Right. And somebody ended up going into the trash can for some reason and got stuck. So for 6 months, they didn't know whether they had HIV or not. And they sued the dentist. And the argument there is that if you can prove it's kind of, you know, extreme outrages or extreme conduct, and you cause emotional distress to somebody, then you can get some damages for the emotional distress, but you really have to show an extreme level there. So that's the situation.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing? This is Greg from New York, and I think Usher is innocent of proven guilty, but the fact that he refuses to take a herpes test, to me, says that there's some truth to the story. So I think where there's smoke, there's some fire there. That's my comments.
Well, that's what people are saying, obviously. And, you know, again, his side has been very silent on that subject. Make sure to subscribe to TMZ Live to keep up to date on the latest entertainment news.
And if you want to keep watching, click on one of these videos right now.